gentlemen, the Northern Marching Band.
football game between the Huskies of Port Huron Northern and the Big Reds of Port Huron High. Before the playing of our national anthem, I would ask that you direct your attention to the south end of the field under the clock of the scoreboard. Standing in the end zone is Larry J. Moeller Sr., Superintendent of Schools, Larry Manns, former District Athletic Director, Gordon Jameson, current District Athletic Director, and our special guest, Dr. James Townley. Tonight we would like to pay a special tribute to Dr. Townley. Dr. Townley has been a long and valued friend of the Port Huron Area School District's athletic program. In addition to treating our athletes for numerous sports-related injuries over the years, Dr. Townley was responsible for the initiation and ongoing coordination of area physicians each year to provide free athletic screening physicals for the athletes. In addition, he has either been at the games himself or ensured that we would have a physician on site for each and every home varsity football game for the last 47 years. Dr. Townley has now turned many of these responsibilities over to his associate, Dr. Gary Doss. However, Dr. Townley still can be seen on occasion filling in for Dr. Doss at games and is always working behind the scenes in support of our athletic program. In addition to his time, Dr. Townley has made generous monetary donations and donations of equipment and training supplies to the athletic program over the years. What a better night to acknowledge the contributions of Dr. Townley than tonight, with the stands full and both schools so prominently represented. Mr. Moeller will now present Dr. Townley with a plaque commemorating this occasion. Please join us in giving Dr. Townley a special round of applause for his many years of service to our schools, our children, and our community. Dr. Townley, the Port Huron Area School District, thanks you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Northern High School Marching Band is pleased to welcome the Port Huron High School Marching Band to join us in the playing of our national anthem. Singing the anthem tonight will be Katie Duncan and Jasmine Osby. The American flag we are using this evening was flown over the U.S. Capitol in honor of the Northern Marching Band by the Junior Drum Major Brian Mosier upon completion of his Eagle Scout Award. Congratulations, Brian. We now welcome Mr. Robert W. Clark to the podium to conduct the joint bands in our national anthem. Would you please rise, and gentlemen, kindly remove your hats.
Frederick, Richard Moore, and Andy Critchfield. These officials are registered by the Michigan High School Athletic Association and, like the coaches, are hired by the Port Huron Area School District to help the athletes learn on the playing field. These individuals have worked hard to learn the rules and apply them fairly. We request you respect their honest effort in administering this contest.
capacity crowd on hand on both sides of the field in Memorial Stadium for tonight's high school football matchup between the Port Huron Big Reds and the Port Huron Northern Huskies. Both these teams are 4-3. A loss would all but diminish the playoff hopes for one of these teams. Even if you don't have a successful year, this game is always marked on the calendar every year as the game that gives the victor bragging rights. Quite frankly, as far as Port Huron high school football is concerned, there's nothing bigger. Hi, this is CPHS Channel 6. I'm Derek Wark. Joining me is Damian Polak. Well, Damian, here we are, the game everybody's really been waiting for, Big Reds Huskies.
This is what high school football is all about. Crosstown rivalries. I mean, it's time to get down to business. I mean, we had the write-ups in the paper and community gets together and just is. It's just going to be a big game tonight.
And of course, when you mentioned the Big Red team, you mentioned obviously the great running of Tony Washington, but one man has really stood out for this club throughout, and that lately that has been William Knight. What can you say about Will Knight? Great runner, great supporter, and a great blocker.
Oh yeah, physical player. I mean, there's no other way to play than physical in any of the MAC leagues. So I mean, that's just proud player to play for this team.
Okay, and as for the Northern team, Matt Showtime Shock and Kevin Kemp, what can you say about this connection except Port Huron has got to be on their nose defensively today?
Well, I mean, this is what the big matchup is, Tony Washington against the Northern Husky defense, and that's going to be a key matchup and key to victory for either team is whoever can stop whom.
Okay, the usual two back to return for the Port Huron Big Reds. That is Tony Washington and DeMar Cranford. As we're about ready to go, the opening kickoff, Port Huron has won the toss. They will receive. And good to see, obviously, a good crowd on hand both sides.
This is really no surprise when these two teams get together. It's a sold-out capacity crowd.
We are underway. Kick out of bounds. That's going to be marked on the 35-yard line now. And that's not a real good way to start a game, is it?
No, it's gives them pretty good field position, but we'll just have to see how the defense responds. And if the offense can take advantage of its pretty decent field position.
Okay, let's see what happens. Both teams strong defensively, but mainly pretty fast defensively, so we'll see. Port Huron Northern coming off just a huge, humongous victory. And, of course, last week, Port Huron, a great game against Fraser, just nicking it out, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we go. The usual set for Port Huron Big Reds without a quarterback. Taking the snap. Washington to the outside. Down right there at the 35-yard line. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Among tacklers, number 24, Matt Reynolds. Good early pursuit by that defense.
Mm-hmm. Tried to bust it outside, but the Huskies stringed him out and nowhere to go on that one.
So we have second down and 10 now. From the 35-yard line where it's marked. And this give to John Scott. John Scott straight up the middle, and that'll be a gain of about 5 yards. Impressive run. So that'll be third and about 5. They look to be stopping the run pretty good to begin.
Mm-hmm.
Paul
Then
Priest, the tackle there.
Believes it looks like PH is going with some kind of no huddle to keep the defense on their toes.
And there's that movement on that offensive line again. They like to rotate a lot. Third down, 3 from the 42 now. Look for a keeper to Washington, possibly. Here comes John Scott in motion, though. Yes, Washington up the middle, fakes a handoff, carries it, and a big gain for Washington. About 8 yards to the 50. First down, Port Huron. Kind of surprised there on that call.
Yeah, with the keeper, I mean, everyone was going, the flow was going to the left, and he just kept it for a run up the middle.
Okay, first and 10 from the 50. They go with the no huddle again. Washington back to pass. Throws almost intercepted by number 38, Lee Naplin. Wouldn't that have been sweet?
That would have been a big momentum turner on that one. Naplin, no stranger to the end zone either after he picks the ball off, so not so frequent pass by the PH too to keep the corners on their toes also.
Naplin is the big secondary man on this Port Huron team, Port Huron Northern team, that is. So it'll be second down and 10 now from the 50 again. John Scott coming at you. The fake to him. Instead, they give up the middle. Cedric Evans, I believe. Instead, no, Ricky Johnston. And he's up the middle for about, well, a yard, if that. Be third and long now. I would guess to win this game, Port Huron has got to do more than just run it up the middle.
There has to be some kind of, I wouldn't say razzle-dazzle, but keep the PH pursuing defense on their toes. Looks like we might have a full start on the PH side.
We'll see what happens. That might be delay of game as well. No, a false start. False start, the Big Reds, they'll lose 5. Actually, a legal procedure, the exact call, so I'll push them back to the 45-yard line. Third down, 15 now, and that's not smart, obviously.
No.
So it's 3rd down and long, 15 yards needed. We're just underway here if you joined us. A battle of Port Huron, 0-0. We're yet to score. Just started, 10 minutes to go. Washington on a keeper. Gets a good block outside, only back to the 50-yard line. Tackle number 49, Michael Hickey, the captain on this club. And that'll bring up 4th down. So Port Huron Northern holds. Good to see for them.
There was a good pursuing defense on that one. I think first couple of drives with PH offense is just to get the feel for what kind of defenses Northern's going to be throwing out to them. You notice that when the Big Red shifted, the Northern defensive line also shifted, so looks like they did a pretty good job of preparing for this game.
All right, Matt Schock ready to return for the Port Huron Northern Huskies. To punt this one, Tony Washington, who does it all for this club. Pretty good punt, taken by Schock at the 20. Schock fakes off one tackle, breaks another, and gets to about the 36-yard line. Not a bad run back.
No.
So we'll see what Port Huron Northern can do. Again, as we mentioned, Kevin Kemp took over for Matt Schock earlier in the year and has looked very good.
Yeah, he's been very impressive with, it's a very demanding job to play varsity quarterback, so he stepped into the shoes pretty well.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 30. Kevin Kemp, a 3 wide out set, lone back in the backfield. And Kemp back to pass, goes deep to Schock, caught down at the 44-yard line of Port Huron. And that's what we talked about early, Damien. That's going to be the key all day. You've got to get men on Matt Schock.
Nice way to start out the game also with a bang, and that's what you want to do to get this momentum. Big play.
An interesting call there off the scratch to do that first play.
I'm very surprised with that.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now from the Port Huron at 44. And it's a power set again. To give straight up the middle. This time, big hole. Look out. Breaks down to the 26-yard line. That carry by Anthony Malachi. And he is the big back for this club. And big, I mean literally pretty big. 6 foot 200. So he had one man to beat. And if it wasn't for that last man, he was gone. So 1st and 10 now, 27. What a start for this Port Huron Husky team.
Bang, bang, 2 plays.
The give again to Malachi, straight at the middle, and fighting his way for 4 or 5. Among tacklers, number 34, Will Knight, number 13, Matt Prevost. As I mentioned, both teams very strong defensively. Although at the beginning of this one, I don't know if you realize that with the Big Reds, but they do adjust late, so we'll see what happens. The power set again for Port Huron Northern. Big Reds showing blitz. Kemp wants time. So again, you force an early timeout. That could hurt you later.
I don't know if he saw something, if he was going to be a delay game, or he saw something on defense that he didn't like, so.
Maybe that set wasn't one that Kemp thought could counteract the blitz.
I'm not really sure what his reason for that was, but maybe to avoid disaster. So in a game like this, you don't want to start out. You want to have as much lessen the penalties, I guess, than the other team. I mean, that's always a key in football anyway.
So 8:07 to remain in the first quarter. Still, we have no score yet. As I mentioned, the Battle of Port Huron, bragging rights on the line, as it always is when these two teams collide. Kind of a cold night, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a chill in the air tonight.
2nd and 5. And Port Huron offside there badly. No question about that. They'll move Port Huron Northern up 5 yards. Yes, offside. I believe Will Knight might have been the culprit there. So it'll be 1st and 10 now from the 15. Fans really getting into this, as expected. It's a big crowd on hand, the biggest of the year. Kemp gives straight up the middle, and that's a gain of about 2 or 3. Matt Schock on the carry. And Matt Schock will do that. He lines up as receiver and running back, doesn't he?
Yep. Versatile athlete, so he can be used either as a wideout or the running back, like you said. He has the size for the running back and the speed for a wideout, so.
Malachi checks out. Looks to be Reed Charbonneau replacing him. So the I formation now, 2nd and 8, Port Huron Northern. Man in motion. Kemp the give, and he's fighting his way down to about the 10-yard line, maybe the 9. That's number 32, Cedric Evans. Very dependable running backs on both teams. So officially now 3rd down and 5. Ball marked on the 10 exactly. So Kemp brings the Northern Huskies out of formation. Again, they're in the power set. 2 wideouts near side. They give it to Cedric Evans again. We have a flag on the play. Evans caught for a loss, but we'll see what happens there. Number 74, Dwayne Hunger on the tackle. And let's see what we have.
Offsides Big Reds.
Yes, another one. That's costly, isn't it?
Especially when you get in within, down in the 20, you can't give away for free yards in the red zone. But it could be just, a big game, it could be just pre-game adrenaline running. So.
Obviously, extra incentive playing your town rival as well.
Yeah. Anytime you have a big game, the adrenaline level seems to go up a few notches.
Okay, so it's 1st and 5 now. It's actually 1st and goal from the 5. 6:33 to go. No score. Port Huron about to score. The Northern, that is. They give to Malachi to the outside. Can't shake off a beautiful tackle there by number 22, Tony Washington. He just does it all.
Yep, lost a yard on that play.
So he's 2nd and 6 now from the 6. Both these teams have a lot of players that play both ways, defense and offense, don't they?
More than on the PH side than on the Northern. Northern has always been a 2-platoon.
Pitch out to Malachi. Easy to win, touchdown, Port Huron Northern. Couldn't adjust to the pitch out. Good block to the outside, and Malachi is in. Good start.
That's always important to draw first blood in a big game like this, and he just took it to the outside, and he had lots of running room there.
Obviously the kind of head start that Casey Kuchera, head coach of the Port Huron Northern Club in his rookie season, wanted to see, obviously. Keith Christofferson ready to kick this extra point. Snap, placed down. Here comes a man. Nope, instead, the kick is good. Late flag thrown on the play. This might be roughing the kicker. We'll see. And that is going to be against the Big Reds. So I don't know if that'll be assessed on the kickoff unless it's declined now.
Or, well, they might even, I see.
They want an explanation now from the referee. I'm not really sure what the official call was either. I saw a bit of a late hit on the kicker or someone in that vicinity. Number 66, Eddie Albers, the captain of this team, Port Huron Northern, out for an explanation. So it's being marked on the 40, so maybe they just declined it then.
I don't think they wanted to run a play. I guess they would have, I don't know, half the distance to the goal. I'm not really sure on the specifics of that rule.
So Port Huron Northern obviously very happy. An early strike from them. 5:47 to go, first quarter. 7-0 Port Huron Northern. Surprising, the fans are kind of quiet though over there. They're not really getting into it as much.
I don't know. I'm not sure the reason why. I mean, there was a good sustained drive by Northern there.
The big 30-yard plus pass, Kemp to shock to start the game. And really, Big Red's never recovered from it. So they are marking it up 15 yards. So maybe that was a major penalty.
Oh, yeah, that was a personal foul.
Was that the call?
Mm-hmm. Roughing the kicker, yeah.
Okay. As
Yeah,
I thought
so-
it might have been.
No surprise here. I would try the onside kick also with only half the field to work with.
Yep, here they come, onside kick. Let's see what happens. A good bounce for Port Huron Northern, they get it back! Oh, I don't believe it. Port Huron Northern got back the onside kick on the 34.
That's exactly what happened last week, too, against Northern. Pulled the same kick on Warren Kuzno, and
And it worked twice.
Keith Christopherson did an excellent job again with the kickoff there. You got end over end, the big hop to get over the line, and looks like a number 21, Scott Albert, recovered that one. So another momentum boost for the Northern Huskies.
And that's going to pretty well eat up a lot of the first quarter anyway. All Huskies drive. I would think Port Huron, to get any momentum going, has got to get the ball in offense.
Oh, yeah.
So 1st and 10 now. Look to be offside Port Huron. Nonetheless, Kemp steps back to pass, almost intercepted by number 13, Matt Prevost. He was a very dependable secondary man, obviously.
That was a dangerous pass.
A little bit over his head.
Mm-hmm.
But this Northern team not afraid to pass the ball. Obviously, they've got sure-willed receivers.
And the quarterback that can get it there and line that will give him time to throw. So.
Yep. And Kemp is just a little guy, listed at 5'8", of course, 148, so. But a good arm, too. They give to Evans straight up the middle. He's got a big hole down to the 16-yard line.
Huge gap.
Actually got a little more than that. The 13-yard line, check that. 1st and 10 from the 14, sorry. What do you think of that?
Well, that was just a run right up the middle between the tackles. He had a huge hole, and the rest was up to him then.
Got a good block, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did.
So they can get to the 4 to get a first down before scoring.
Bigger to take a timeout to discuss some defensive strategy.
And rightfully so, after just a plain, ordinary run straight up the middle. Good blocking. I find that this Port Huron Big Red team, though, at times they get a little down. This team is really a streaky team. If they're hot, like such as last week beating the good Fraser Club, if they're hot, they can play with anybody, but right now they're obviously cold.
It's just, it's the beginning of the game. They're still trying to get a feel for what kind of offense, but hopefully they can get a feel for it soon.
Turnover here would be sweet for them, but we'll see. Kemp and company for this Northern Husky team will think otherwise. 2 receivers near side. Aaron White and Jeremy Marska for this Northern team. 2 backfield set. Kemp. Give to Evans. Cedric Evans fighting, but nothing there. That's got to pump the crowd up a little bit, as it does. Number 71, Will Cartanga on the tackle. So 2nd and 10. 2nd and 11, he lost a yard.
They got the number on that run, though, so good defensive play to stop the run on that one.
So let's see what Port Huron Northern can do now. 2nd and 11, 5 minutes to go, first quarter. This time they go with 3 wideouts and 1 back set. Kemp. Kemp back to pass. He's on a rollout. Avoids the blitz nicely. Rollout, and he just threw that away. Got decked in the act, too, didn't he? Good quarterback pressure there. I believe that's number 42, Corey Hunt, with a big-time blitz rush there.
Oh, Kemp did the right thing there, escaping the first defender to avoid the sack, then again, just throw it away.
Well, they are definitely in Keith Christopherson range for a field goal try, but 3rd and 11, they're thinking touchdown if they can from the 15-yard line. Some fan here trying to set up a tomahawk chop to get Well, maybe us going and the crowd going, but
To no avail.
the snap to give to Malachi on a pitch out. He avoids one tackle, can't get the other. William Knight among tacklers there, and a beautiful tackle. Number 42, Corey Hunt, led the charge there.
It looks like they are going to try the field goal.
So 4th and 11. The ball is marked on the 11. This will be, I think, a 28-yard field goal, I would think. Ball is marked on the 19-yard line, so it'll be 29-yard officially. Here's a snap, placed down. Christofferson the kick, and he had the distance. No good. Wide right. So that's tough luck after a very good drive, isn't it?
Well, the defense buckled down and stopped the run there, and then had to.
Well, the big problem for the Big Reds on both sides, really, defense especially, they're not as big as this Husky club.
No.
And as they're just as fast, though.
Sure.
We'll see what happens now from the 20. Big Reds come out on a 1st and 10. And they need something to smile about here. Snap to Washington. Good block on the outside. Takes it to about the 26. Gain of about 6 or 7 for Washington there. On the tackle, number 54, Rob Carson. What's your early impressions on the game? Obviously, I think what we expected, Northern to pass and Big Reds to run.
Just the back and forth. Whoever can stop who on defense might come down to one of those games of who has the ball last.
John Scott coming back.
And then
A hand to him. He's got a big hole. Look out. Good block. And down at the 44-yard line. A beautiful run by Scott. Some good blocking. A big hole.
That's what they needed to get this offense running. Literally.
Okay, that makes a 2nd down and 10 from the 43. Washington behind the fullback. And a big hole and a 1st down run to the 46 of the Huskies. John Scott leading the way with a good block for Washington there. And that's the key to this running game for the Port Huron Big Reds. Follow the fullback. Sometimes it's Will Knight, sometimes it's Scott. They like to mix around this running back set. So 1st and 10 from the 47 of the Huskies. They give to Scott again, and he's a big load. Look out! Takes it down of a 1st down run again to the 36-yard line. You can mark that one up. Yes, 1st down. Little surprised at back-to-back excellent runs from Scott.
Well, I think that the Big Reds are trying to figure, may have unlocked this Husky defense. So
it's actually 2nd down, short 1. So I would guess they will get this. Washington on a keeper, but good defense will push him back. Oh, what a load there. Number 51, Chris Damon leading tacklers.
And number 24, Matt Reynolds beat his guy off the block and was in the backfield. Bring down Washington or the ball runner for a loss of 2.
So 3rd and 4. It was a 2nd down and short, but good defense. See if it prevails again for Port Huron Northern. John Scott comes back. Fake to him. They give instead up the middle, and this one is 1st down at the 35-yard line. 30-yard line, actually. And carrier number 45, Ricky Johnston, and a beautiful run. Right in the clutch when they needed it.
Oh, that was a big play. It was a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, and to sustain the drive, he found an opening and got the 1st down.
1:32 left to go, 1st quarter. 7-0 Huskies, but look out. Big Reds driving as they are right now. Washington on the outside. A good block follows it. Look out, 20 down at the 16-yard line. Tony Washington.
Excellent job of following his blocker, too.
You credit Ricky Johnston a whole lot with that one, too. followed him nicely, a good block. Often blocks like that are overlooked. So let's see, we haven't seen much of William Knight yet. Maybe that's because the back's in there doing a fine job. There's the rotation again on the line. And they throw him off, yes. That's going to be offside Huskies. Now I could see how all that rotation sooner or later and the line will throw you off. I mean, how many teams do you know that do that?
Not very many, especially in the high school area.
So that makes it first down and 5 from the 11 now. Definitely makes it easier, especially in this end of the field after a penalty. Snap to Washington. Gives on the outside to John Scott, and he is in there. Touchdown! Port Huron Big Reds, and you hear the cheers. Yes, sir. Touchdown. Good block to the outside again. Just followed it. And we expect a close game just like that, don't we?
With
Well,
the Big Reds had to strike back quickly to get some momentum back on their side, and they did it with a nice sustained drive. With
here comes the
all right.
patented 2-point conversion try. The give to Scott outside. Got one man to beat and doesn't beat him at the 1. So Huskies hold to a 7-6 lead.
That was a nice job by the defense to string him out, also using the sideline as an extra defender.
Okay, so 7-6 now. A minute 16 to go, first quarter.
That was a big drive for the Big Reds to get back into this game and get the crowd pumped up. Everyone's pumped up. Get that motion running again.
And I know I say it a lot on these telecasts, but you just can't really say it enough. Port Huron really needs to look and get a kicking game going, as opposed to every time going for a 2-point conversion. Obviously 7-6 now when it should be 7-7.
And I think that's what the Northern did also with getting a freshman field goal kicker and Keith Christofferson. It's added a big dimension to the game also, even though we missed that last one.
But a dependable kicker
Right.
nonetheless with a strong leg, Christopherson.
When it comes down to crunch time and maybe seconds to go, and who knows.
So, and again, the Big Red fans getting into it after that big run by John Scott and the patented tomahawk chop we just saw. So back to return, number 14, Matt Schock, and of course number 43, Steve German for this Husky club. And here is the kickoff. And a beauty. Taken at the 20 by Germain. To the outside, he's to the 25. Oh, a beautiful tackle right there. Guess who? William Knight. This guy just fires this club up time and time again. Wow. He gets downfield fast, doesn't he? Brought down at the, well, I think they're calling it the 18. When it looked to me like he was going to get to the 25. A great tackle. All right, first and 10 now from the 18. 3 wide out set, lone back again, the give. And that's to Schock, I believe, up the middle to about the 20, well, let's see, 24-yard line. Instead, that's Malachi, actually. Malachi, as always, a lot of ability, as Washington does, to break one. Very dangerous back. We have 50 seconds left in the first quarter, as you see right there. 7-6 the score in favor of the Huskies. Very good first quarter, as we expected. This game is shaping out to be a dandy. There's the give now. Look out, Schock, big hole, outside, takes one, down at the 44-yard line, and a beauty. Once he gets a full head of steam, look out. Of course, Matt Schock, a 6'3", 190-pound senior. They call him Showtime Schock in this area, and with good reason. So 15 seconds to go, first quarter. A timeout's been called, I believe, yes. by the officials. So that's interesting. And the clock continues to run now. 10 seconds left. And I'm not sure they're going to try and get a play off before the end of the first quarter. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3. He's got to hurry. 2. And they don't get it off. Nope. That's going to be the end of the first quarter of play with the score after 1. Port Huron Northern Huskies 7 and the visiting, or not the visiting, but the Port Huron Big Reds 6. This is CPHS Channel 6, your home of high school football.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
Only you.
No, you don't play with matches. That's not cool. Tell mom and dad to break them, stop them. Yeah, that's the rule.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
On January 8th, Amy Narvajo was saved from freezing to death by the National Guard. To every employer who supports the Guard and Reserve, thanks for making us your business.
Tom, where you going? Yeah, we got a ball game here. Pardon me.
Pitcher got a rubber arm. It's has. Huh? Pitcher has a rubber arm.
If education is important to you, talk to your child's school about raising academic standards. Call 1-800-38-BE-SMART for a free booklet and be a big league parent.